Good morning, everybody. I thought I would do a morning routine on how I take care of my homestead animals. Right outside my laundry room door, I keep everyone's feed and little miscellaneous treats. I have stepping stones that go right out to my chicken coop. Now, I haven't let them out yet because I'm going to grab their food first. I always have the leftovers and I have to pick sticks and whatnot out of it. But yeah, I try to do that because otherwise they rush me with the food. And I set the bowl down so that I could go grab them out of their coop. I always open their windows and tell them good morning and how beautiful they are, and they're usually just cooing at me. We open the door on that side into the run through a cord that my husband put through the middle of it, and then I just hook it here and open their windows, and it's pretty simple. I forgot to shut the door. As you'll see in this video, that is a theme for the morning, and so they were already starting to get out. The first out is always Elsa. She's kind of the ringleader, and she just leads them, and they follow her everywhere around. Of course, I didn't latch the door, so we'll see that later. I give them a couple scoops just to add to their feed. We don't really have rodent problems, thankfully. We're pretty urban, so this really isn't too much of a problem, but I put it in a bowl like this because otherwise they tend to fight each other. So yeah, and then I add a couple handfuls of sunflower seeds, and I add some mealworms as a treat, put the bunny food back. And then, yeah, I just put some mealworms on top. Up, and they got out. There's Elsa. She knew she got in trouble. But look, she let them all out to the straw that I have yet to put away, and they keep getting into it because we don't have an official spot for it. So that's where it's hanging out, and they keep causing a mess to my husband's disdain, because we just landscaped this area with the rocks and everything, and there goes the cat. Okay, so got everybody in. We're all good to go. Takes a bit to convince them. This time I shut it and latch it. That way I can get the other thing that I need to get for them, which is their calcium. Now I fill their calcium every few days. This way they have strong eggs and they don't get really thin and crack, because when they're really thin, the chickens tend to peck at them, which is why I always grab eggs at night as well, because they get bored and just tend to peck at the eggs, I think out of boredom. But yeah, there's Clara. She's sweet. She always lets me pet her. I was just double checking their water. I did fill their water last night because I just happened to be doing waters for the bunnies for their nighttime water, so I went ahead and filled theirs. This is where I keep also the bunny feed. So next up are the bunnies. I know everyone has a whole school of thought on if you're supposed to keep bunnies indoors, outdoors, both. I know that there's groups for both. I've been in both. We personally can't keep bunnies indoors. It's not really a cat problem so much as the fact I would have 3 bunnies, 3 cats, 4 kids, and it's just a lot. We initially got our first bunny, Lilith, and she was a rescue, and they were like, well, she's a social animal, she needs friends, and so we got 2 more bunnies, and now we're just bunny people apparently. Now pay attention, I didn't shut the door. This is going to be a problem for that one right there, which is Lilith, and she is a stinker. She has a mind of her own. So this is their main run that they are hanging out in. That is the door to their mini run that they have access to all night long. I finally caught her. Okay, so there was a whole thing that we missed, but it took me forever to catch her. Oh my gosh, she was such a stinker. Anyway, they all got fed, and they get a quarter of a cup of food, and they sometimes don't even finish it. She eats a little more than they do. They're much smaller than her. She gets a treat because, well, bunnies aren't bad. They're just being bunnies. That's the front, the line head in the front. I think we settled on Doc McFluffins or Doc McFloofins, and the one behind him is his little friend. She's Willow. We got them as a bonded pair, and then we bonded all 3 of them together. Yep, they get a ton of hay after their food. They get fed twice a day with the pellets. They get unlimited hay. Again, another school of thought, which is the one they're supposed to have as primary. for the most part, it seems like hay is the winner. So they also have straw that they can sharpen their teeth on. Now their water, I get them fresh every day. They get one that has a filter on it. I feed this every day. In the summer, I fill it twice. They also have an additional one. Whoops, started spilling it. It just locks right on. They have an additional one in their little mini run area. There's another litter box as well that also gets hay. So I have 2 litter boxes, 2 waters. Everyone gets their own food dish. They get lots of treats. Now this right here is just me unbuckling. So bunnies can go into stasis, and if they see predators, from what I understand, it's like a scared stiff kind of deal, and it's really dangerous for them. So we have this corner like blocked off, and then we put this around, and then we're like blocking different areas off. Anyway, it's a whole thing, and we're still working on this. Bunnies are new to us, and this is a brand new setup. This wall was built to keep the sun out because that is west facing, to have it absorb and mitigate some of the sun that they get. And this is a shade cloth at 70% to further keep down the heat. And so far it's keeping really cool in there, even when it was almost 90 degrees the other day. I think it was like 87. It was such a pain. Anyway, I'm going to show you. So this is a gate right here, or a fence, sorry. There's going to be stuff put down at the bottom so they can't escape. My husband is doing a whole shed thing. Yeah, so this part is all going to get marked off so that they can free roam in here. And I forgot, I let the chickens out because sometimes the bunnies are not terrified of the chickens, but they'll stay away from them. The chickens didn't help me at all, and then they were really hard to get in. So I told you, this was quite the morning. It was such a nightmare. I was running around pre-coffee trying to get this stinking bunny in, and then I had to get the chickens in. It was kind of a mess. Usually my morning routine is 5 to 10 minutes long, and this morning took a solid 45 minutes. It was a bit of a nightmare. So not typical, but I was running on little sleep, and that's how it happens. Usually they follow me with food. That didn't happen. They were happy to be out. They don't usually get out to roam around before they finish their breakfast, because then they'll never eat their breakfast. This is a herding stick. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit them with it. It's just my husband uses it to herd them in when he's having trouble. Clara in the back with the very, very short comb is always kind of confused about what's going on. We joke that she was dropped as an eggling, so she's always confused. So yeah, I threw that over there. As you can see, I had a bunch of stuff strewn about because I was trying to block ways for the bunny to get out. Again, a nightmare. We are pulling things out of the shed. We got rid of one of our sheds, and so my entire yard is kind of a disaster. But yep, here we go, getting them back in, herding them in. I tried calling them with treats earlier, which almost always works 99% of the time, and they didn't care. So we got them in. That was it. That was the whole day. Oh, Frisk is behind. And yeah, so that's my morning routine. Everyone is in, everyone is happy, everyone is fed and has water and treats and all of the things. So that's everything. I hope you enjoyed watching what my morning routine is. Now I get to drink coffee and finish the load of laundry that my kids supposedly folded yesterday. And that's all. Bye.